This is Marvel Rivals. We're here on the PlayStation 4. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is one of the strangest game releases I think I've ever seen. At a time where most games are leaving behind the last gen, finally, we've got Marvel Rivals releasing a last gen version of the game, which to me is insane. Like, honestly, this genuinely should not exist, and it is fascinating to take a look at this. So this is a free-to-play Overwatch-esque hero shooter game where you get to play as a wide variety. I guess I can literally show that since we're at base. A wide variety and growing variety of iconic Marvel characters from across different universes and setups and eras, battling against one another to capture objectives in team-based combat. For the most part, of course, there are different little modes and other things, but mostly you're fighting over rings or holding positions and, you know, kind of going back and forth against others. And, yeah, like, I wouldn't go as far as calling this like a miracle port, but like, it is... You can tell that this really shouldn't be like happening. I don't know how clean this looks on YouTube, but this is like really, really blurry. Like, obviously we don't have really the scaling solutions that we have on other platforms, but it looks like they almost have something going on with this. Maybe they do. It's just like the character is like pixelated. The environment is like really toned back in terms of like resolution quality. It's not very clean. Like, I mean, it's the full game, right? But it's like they definitely had to make a lot of interesting sacrifices, I would say, to kind of get this going on this platform, which, you know, I guess if you want to play this, that's, you know, that's great and all. You can check it out now if you've been sitting on your PlayStation. I gotta say, the PlayStation 4 value-wise, yeah, after like a decade of it, it is still just kicking. This really was like an ultimate console for PlayStation. I gotta hand it to them. Like, yeah, this really was something that just had insane levels of longevity to it. Like, it is amazing how long this has kept going, this console. And just like this game here is just, I guess you would say, a bit of a testament to the fact that like people are still rocking the PS4. Oh, that person's like a one-shot. Oh, come on. There we go. That's what I like to see. So anyways, yeah, if you've been waiting to play Marvel Rivals because you haven't been able to play it anywhere else, I guess this is like, you know, kind of possible, and you can enjoy the magic of the full game. It's just like, for me, the biggest thing about releasing this game at this point on the PS4 is this is going to be like a long-term game, and it's like they're going to keep adding content and stuff to it. I'm like, there's got to be like a certain point where it's just sort of... It's weird because other free-to-play games are sort of cutting off last gen, and it's just amazing that they want to support, because they're going to have to support this for, you know, a set amount of time down the road, I would imagine. Like, there's a very real possibility here. You're going to be able to be playing this on your PS4 against people that are on a PS6. And that is, to me, just insanely wild. So from a technical standpoint, it's 1080p targeting at 30 FPS. And you feel it. Like, when you're playing against others, oh, and it tears a bit too. Like, when you're playing against others online, it's just like... Because you gotta remember, like, you're playing this, I guess you could choose console only as like a crossplay thing, but like, you're playing against like PC players and, you know, even PS5 users that are doing well beyond the realms of a 60 FPS and like 120 FPS. You're playing at 30. It's like, it's not impossible, but the game just moves at such a slower pacing for you that you're gonna have to be generational talents to overcome just kind of the frame rate gap on this, I guess you would say. Like, it's definitely noticeable, because even then, it's like the resolution is surely, you know, not fully hitting that mark, and then it's like the frame rate does at times drop as well. It's more than like playable. Like it, as you've been seeing, like it really is like fine from a perspective of being, yeah, you can play this no problem. Like as far as like it runs, but it's just like whether or not you want to meaningfully kind of compete and play against the others players is another thing entirely. And it's just like, especially when the action heats up, like I'm playing as Psylocke here. I don't even have my signature outfit. I wonder if that's locked to play, or yeah, that's locked to Xbox, isn't it? Because they don't have, it's weird, like they have cross accounts, but they don't have like cross progression or whatever. Maybe this is a new, no, this should be the same account because it's tied to the PlayStation name or whatever. Didn't really think about it, because yeah, it's like a new season, right? Yeah, so it should be good. But it's just like, you know, when things really start to heat up, I'm just sitting there kind of being like, you're gonna have some issues with performance and stuff like that. It is amazing, genuinely amazing that this game is on here. Like, it's cool and neat. Like, this is, like, to me, just like a freak test thing that I can do and be like, yeah. Like, I literally, you know, brought out the dusty PS4 and dusted it off and tried to find a cord to plug in my controller and charge it. I found like a cord that was like, I don't know, like literally, I want to say like an inch or less, or maybe not an inch, like a foot or less, like half a foot. It's like a just tiny little cord. For like a 3-meter cord or something like that. I was like, oh, it works. I was like, cool. Because I'm like, wow. Like there's the benefit that I did just, you know, recently move in here, so it's like, it was kind of just out in the open a little bit more, but I was like, wow, I didn't think I'd ever actually play on this again. I thought there might be like the odd comparison video I'd want to go back and do or something, but like, it's just weird. Like, it's just bizarre. It's sort of like when, what was it? I checked out Cyberpunk on the Xbox One out of like morbid curiosity, and that's what I kind of feeling is my vibe right now. Is it's like, yes, this is something new to cover, but wow, it is weird covering a PS4 game, because I haven't covered a PlayStation 4 game in like 5 years at least. At least 5 years. I don't even think I could name the last game I played on a PS4. And it's a great console from like, you know, the games that released on it, and you know, the PS5 still is coasting off of a lot of the PS4 game releases with like minor, you know, remasters and stuff. I would actually say maybe the best bang for your buck would have been like if you bought a PS4 Pro, because this game, from what I understand, actually runs a lot better. I wish I had a PS4 Pro actually to go and take a look at this game on there, but apparently, you know, this actually runs pretty like decent on there as far as like actually hitting like 60 FPS and stuff and getting a little bit of a higher resolution. Because if you look at it, the PS4 Pro, it's like, that thing is, you know, getting lots of upgrades, long, healthy lifespan. It's kind of an amazing mid-gen refresh for value. But I guess I should talk more about the game, too, since we are, like, reviewing this. I mean, it is really straightforward. What I said earlier is kind of the basis for the game, right? You play a cooperative experience where it's 2 teams fighting off against each other in a bunch of different like arenas and setups and scenarios across different maps of ever-expanding content across the multiverses of Marvel, with a comic focus, you know, comic books, kind of where a lot of the inspiration is drawn. There's lots of different costumes and vibes and everything you can have. Okay, I think we're gonna have to switch to another match here. So you really do get a lot of different arenas from all kinds of different corners of the lore of the Marvel Universe. Really, really good variety. Futuristic stuff, weird other worlds, and then the characters kind of match that, and they just continuously are adding at a very frequent pacing. One of the most impressive live service titles I've actually seen in regards to like just constantly like new characters. It feels like every other month there's like a new hero or heroes thrown into the fray. You know, since launch we've gotten like the Fantastic Four and Jean Grey, and I think we're supposed to get like Blade and stuff. There's all these, you know, characters that are constantly releasing for this game, and they have like just like an incredible selection of like cosmetic costumes that you can buy, and you know, then there's all these different like seasonal events going on and all these little things. Like for instance, around the holidays, they had was it Jeff the Landshark doing like a color kind of coding the environment sort of scenario, which was fun. And yeah, there really is like, this is just, the performance here is not ideal. They really have done a lot of stuff with this, and it seems like they're probably going to continue to do that down the road as this continues to be popular. I mean, it's such a big hit that they're throwing it on the PS4, and you know, just to try to squeeze some extra players, which is genuinely miraculous. And I mean, if you can get through this and play it through it this way, you know, that's cool and all, but wow. Yeah, this is quite something. It is amazing how much they can really squeeze out of a place, out of a console. Yeah, this is so fascinating to me, honestly. From just like a thought process, kind of like testing grounds kind of thing. This is so utterly interesting. Anyways, yeah, you got quite a lot of content, and then the whole game revolves around the idea of like, you're fighting each other, but there's also these combos you can do. So depending on certain heroes and stuff, you'll have certain like, not only just like abilities, for instance, like you could jump up on Groot and be thrown, and Hulk can pick up one of your buddies and throw them, which is kind of a fun thing to see. Big surprise if you've never seen that before. And then there's also just like team build-ups where it's like, say you get the Asgardians, you can kind of put them together and they like complement one another. Not like literally as in, oh, good job, but like actually like benefits-wise, which is neat. And then there's like Spider-Man with a bit of Venom addition added to that. They're really neat sort of crossover things. And then there's lots of like little comic book-esque interactions and stuff that go on in this. And yeah, it's quite well done. And again, very much like Overwatch, it's basically like an Overwatch clone with the Marvel characters. You know, you have your ultimates that you kind of build up over time. You've got a list of abilities you can kind of do up on the D-pad, and you can see all of your attacks and abilities and team-up abilities. And it's just sort of, it's a neat setup. And then there's so many different characters, like I mentioned. Keep coming back to that, but there really is just like a massive selection of characters. And they all not only have their own like personalities and styles and aesthetics, but they all do different things in the battle and all have different like functions they serve. Like some of them are more like a support, like healing, some are shooters, you know, some are attack, some just like eat up damage. And then, you know, their ultimates all do different things. It's really quite an interesting set of dynamics, and something that's like always changing too based on, you know, what's going on in the particular season or what sort of balancing they're doing. It's really, really neat. And obviously the best teams are ones that can sort of like pair up these different characters and create like more dynamic interactions and stuff. How does that not count as me being in there? Like, well, I guess there's more of them, but I tried. There's no one on my team doing anything. And then of course you could switch up, and then there's the casual play versus the ranked play. And this game has like the fastest matchmaking I think I've ever seen in a video game. It genuinely should be applauded. How quickly, you know, you can go from waiting to like getting into a match. It's really, really quite miraculous. And as I said, there's like so many different like characters you can play as. So we're just gonna show off. I kind of wanted to show off the Punisher there. If I could switch. You know, he does different attacks, and there's Squirrel Girl, which is lots of fun. They really do, like, they've got a good thing going here. Like, I always kind of thought this one had a lot of potential, if that makes sense. It's sort of funny chatting ahead of release about this one. Oh wow, this place is missing some textures. It's like when you play on the Switch. The Switch one playing, you know, like PS4 and stuff ports. Wow, this is wow, the sky, even the backdrop is literally like a really low resolution image. They did some incredible work to make this happen on this console. Like genuinely incredible work to make this happen on here. This is like when you used to do a cross-gen like PS2 to say PS3, and you had to like make two completely different versions of the game. But yeah, they're doing it for like one multiplayer game. Because I mean, look at the sky. Do you see that? Like it's again, maybe it looks worse on my 4K TV here, but like, wow, they really had to do cutbacks to make this work on this platform. I almost killed Jeff there. Yeah, definitely not going to make it. I think the other team is just so much better than ours. It doesn't help that our good guy is just kind of chilling out too, not really doing anything. Although I guess could have been waiting for the rest of the team to spawn. No, that wasn't the play. Anyways, this is it's impressive to the degree that they were able to make this work. But that really is the core of the game. Like, it is a very straightforward, simplistic kind of offering. As far as, you know, kind of what the gameplay is like. If you've played Overwatch, you'll feel right at home here. It's right in line with that gameplay style. It's just got a Marvel coat of paint on it. And, you know, it's got its own personality and stuff, too, but yeah, it is quite straightforward in what it offers. Look at the performance, just like absolutely tanking here. Is this from like, if you're like doing this from like a competitive standpoint, it's like it's gonna be impressive if you're able to do well. It's like this is not a fluid experience, but it works. That's the biggest thing, right? Is that it does work. See, now our team's doing it. I don't know where this effort was earlier when we were losing everything, but now our team's actually getting it done. Is that because we're actually working as a team? I keep getting frozen by these enemies. Yeah, there's something to admire about being able to play a new game on a console that's well over a decade old. So I guess support-wise for this will go on to at least probably, what, a decade and a half of the console's lifespan? That is unheard of for console gaming. I know in the modern times, these console gens just kind of like seem to never end, but if you go back historically on consoles, like, this is unheard of. Like, it is a miraculous, like, miracle. I mean, obviously it's doable, otherwise I wouldn't be playing and witnessing this right now, but I am... Yeah, this is quite a setup. Where did our team all of a sudden get this courage and excitement from? We're making, like, basically a comeback here. Very peculiar. I really think there's, like, a lot of, like, fun to this, and they really seem to get the characters well. If that makes sense, like, there's a lot of respect to actually doing, like, the comic book sort of things, but they also do, like, a lot of the movie tie-ins and a lot of those events. And, like, it works. It just plays fun, it's easygoing action. It's, you know, I don't take it necessarily too seriously, but I think some people really do, and they go intense about it. And, you know, there's lots of, like, meta stuff that can be going on in this, and yeah, it's just kind of a nice, almost, like, celebration of Marvel history, especially from a comic perspective, just as far as seeing them all available here and enjoyable, and, like, you know, characters you can play as and battle with and get costumes for and fight endlessly, and it's really easy to just sit there and keep, like, you know, playing this game, if that makes sense. Like, you really can just kind of endlessly and easily play and enjoy what this all has to offer. Like, I guess it all loads pretty fast still, too. It is, like, as everybody's already in the match before I get going, but what a wild time to be playing this. Like, this actually feels like a weird fever dream. Because it wasn't announced very long ago, and all of a sudden it's just out. I'm just sitting here being like, wow, Can't believe they actually got Marvel Rivals on the PlayStation 4.